Comrades, friends, also here's Johnny. Help me with my visual aids, and some of them you can join in and reading them. It's just to help me keep it short out of respect to the main topic for tonight. So in the middle of a week of trauma, we had a healthy development on June 14th in France, where the population derives from 5 different continents where France has had colonies. And 1 million of that population converged on the capital, Paris. Plus there were demonstrations in 2 other major cities. 700 buses came in to Paris. They weren't just to march. They were there, like the kids said, to shut shit down. Okay. It was Tuesday. It was like from noon to 4, something like that, according to the footage that I saw. This was the 10th major mass strike action in 3 months in that country. This was organized, and people can look up these hashtags, by the coalition led by the CGT, Confederation, the student and youth, these are the unions. This is the student and youth stay up all night democracy people assembly type movement called Nuit Debout. There was one workforce that was not ever part of any of these strikes. Guess who that was? The cops, yeah, the gendarmes. They were out there with incredible shields and stun grenades and gas that people were throwing back at them. You could see the battles, and sometimes they had to withdraw, you know. You also saw people getting hurt. The final count, 29 cops were injured to 11 strikers. And this was in defense of workers' rights, which means those who have jobs, those who never had a job yet, and those who are done or getting close to retire. They want to limit to 35 the hours in the work week. After that, you go have your life, or you getting paid something extra if you go beyond 35. They have this now. You know, they're defending what they already have. Some security for your job, for your pension, that it will be there. The main slogan is to withdraw the labor law. So again, it sounds like a legislative thing, but it's a battle. It's a class war. Okay. Comrades, we meet in the labor fraction, and Comrade Mill, the founder of Workers' World Party, said the other day that fear is contagious, but so is courage. And I feel that we need to bring this to the U.S. workers and embolden them. We see already that the struggles, the movements of the most suppressed of our class converge into energizing the fight for 15. The militancy comes right out, and the immigrants are part of that movement. The LGBTQ people of color are part of that movement. Black Lives Matter is part of that movement. And prison strikes, I've seen all of those things, you know, reflected on like the signs and the Facebook pages of Fight for 15, and then you see that then picked up on some of the more traditional unions and the strikes that have happened with the Chicago teachers, with the Verizon strike, slogans that get picked up, just who is grabbing the bullhorn and leading it. You know, what we always call a changing character of the working class. We hope that the old communist slogan of 30 hours work for 40 hours pay could be revived, because then where you had to have 40, you'll need 40 million people to do what 30 million people are doing now. If we add 10 million jobs, that could go a long way to stop hate. We don't need to be battling each other for the little crumbs of the ruling class, and we don't need our, anyway, keeping it short. All right, so we're for global class unity. Okay, they say nothing succeeds like success, and this week has made me feel nothing liberates like liberation. When we see people facing down the vicious system and saying no matter what you throw at us, we will be free. When, I'm sorry, I meant to bring a newspaper. Yesterday's El Diario, it was a gentleman, looked like somebody's father, with a Puerto Rican flag and a rainbow flag, and it said, we will not live with fear. That courage, that sense of justice inspires everybody. Anybody who cares at all about fairness is going to be drawn to the struggle and the leadership of the most oppressed. So to show you an example how it then goes back to France, the name of the law in French is this, and they borrowed from the struggles of getting rid of the top cops and the big pigs who cover up all the racist police terror by doing #buy, like they did it to Anita Alvarez. Different places we've seen that. So they put buy to the labor law, and that, you know, totally borrowing, and this is the militants, that's another good one to look up. Because again, we're in Workers' World, please follow the paper. What we tried to do over here with everything else going on was to put out a call. We had some help from the People's Power Assembly, the IAC. You can see this call on the various pages. It was an email, and the Facebook Labor Against Racist Terror, which created the event. So in New York City, and we had about 25 people in San Francisco. We supported another rally there. We had the momentum to do it ourselves, but we didn't want to compete. There were people there from the Occupy Wall Street, the Teamsters, PSC, which just won their contract, and other city unions, and just masses and activists who come around this office and other struggles. The next general strikes being called by the working class in France is July 23rd and 28th, so please keep that on your radar. They're going to need our solidarity. The government's going crazy and talking about maybe banning it, which just shows how strong it really is. So, power to the workers.